drama. We only know one thing, Flux. That's right. To give them the flux. To give them the flux.
These rappers is shucking and jiving and stuff, getting themselves in the shit that they can't get out of. Fucking up, here go the flux. A display of lyrics and patterns and rhythms by Side and Young Buck.
For viewers' discretion is only factual, non-fiction, homie. The ruler, the thumb sticking out, cause you know me. Federal, pimp lock the block, you can't hold me. Situation getting heavy, ammo get low, need my homie, what's up?
Well, your homie right on you, you know from the fire. Going up on these bitches is devious as we gon' get on this shit. Let's talk, let's not sit on this shit. We the shit on this shit, they just spit on this shit.
So much psychodramatic, havoc in this bit. Crazy the ranger with it, this shit. Buck inside is the physicist. Belligerent, feel it, cause we ignorant. Nigga, y'all in it. The flux is the subject of weight and adrenaline. The feel a bitch. Side the medic, buck the relic, and drama deleted to him once again. Chance that you get, change to your face, and the blood to the covers, undisputed bitch.
And again, to the end of the pen, be worse than this sin against men. I'm feeling fenced in. From birth, saw the light of the earth, and I've been fucked up since then. This fusion, clenching, that might get a bitch contusions. It's two of Chicago's fucking gruesome. Introducing to you the flux.
What up, Taco Carew? It's Thursday night again, and we get yet another absentee show. But don't worry, I got you covered, man. We are not gonna go over tonight's show. Card subject to change. Let's go.
And you can inhale the danger. Consider this us spilling out pills of anger. Fuck around, swell a vein up and make you rebel on a stranger. Get contained up, things I'm thinking. Sometimes I be feel like I'm sinking in the motherfucking words of the rap. Floating in the ink pen, breathing and blinking as I lead you to the brink and push you off in the deep end of the issue. Out of the realm of reaching, you ain't gonna know what the fuck to hit you cause you sleeping. Chicago up in your motherfucking shit. Here to show you how worse of it fucking get. Don't play by books. I'm really up in it, burning the rules. Fuck that instruction shit.
What's good, man? What is going on with everybody out there tonight? My name is Jesse, a.k.a. your very own one and only Chi-Town Smark, and I want to thank each and every last one of you for tuning in to me tonight. I understand what it takes to use your valuable time to spend it hanging out here with me. I understand for those of you who are in the bathroom, you know, on the toilets, for those of you who are rolling in the car. I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the effort it takes to unlock that phone. Go to your YouTube app. Go to your favorite channel and be here live with me here tonight, man. Every little motion, every little indication, everything that it took you within your being to join me here hits me in the feel goods, man. Hits me in the feel goods. How was everybody feeling out there this evening? So I'll tune into tonight's show, right? And shame on me for not looking this up earlier, I guess, you know. But turns out tonight's show was really a non-canon show. All right, it was their UK tour, you know, and if you guys are familiar with shows like this, it's very similar to like the WWE Saudi shows, or at least the way those shows were when they started, when I was watching them. It's more like a house show. And this is what this was. It's more like a house show. There's no continuation of any storylines. It's just a bunch of matches thrown together, mostly to entertain the local crowd who doesn't get to experience the product live on a regular basis. So they just put on the show. They skipped over the Chicago taping. So Bound for Glory was 2 weeks ago, and then was so the next show, the next Thursday show, there was no show. They just did, Bound for Glory clips and things like that. And then this week I thought they were returning. Shame on me. Turns out that they were showing stuff from the UK show. And I believe next week we're finally going to get back to the Bound for Glory Fallout stuff, which included Will Ospreay. All right, so we'll go back to covering matches next week. For this week, what we are going to do is we're going to go over previews and predictions for Turning Point. All right, the Turning Point pay-per-view is tomorrow night. It's like their network specials, because it's not like a pay-per-view per se that you have to go out and buy on Fight TV. This is a show you can get on YouTube for the members with the $4.99 tier or higher, I believe is what it is. So essentially, you can get the pay-per-view for $5. I'm on the $4.99 tier every month, so I get those shows included, already. Plus, I get the weekly shows. But if you don't have access, I don't believe it's on access. But if you want to see the Turning Point pay-per-view, you can get it for $5 on YouTube. It's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal. We're not going to go live with it after the show, because tomorrow night, JD will be live with SmackDown. So what we'll do is we'll do it Saturday, probably do it Saturday afternoon. All right, I think that's a nice little sweet spot. We'll catch it Saturday afternoon. Do it then. Have a little afternoon get together, hang out for a little bit, go over the show. Should be a banger. We got some news and some rumors coming out of Impact, and we're gonna go over the previews and predictions for the card, man. So let's get into it. Before we do, if you could please, if you have a minute within you, hit that thumbs up button. Like the video. If you're watching this after the live stream, I need your help as well. Leave a comment in the comment section. Say hello. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you think of the show. Tell me what you think the show is how it's gonna do. Give me all that stuff in the comment section. I'm greatly appreciated. Also, if you are not a Taco Crew member, man, what are you doing? Get on board now, because like I said before, we gotta go through some changes and we're gonna do some upgrading on this channel. We're gonna bring you guys more content, man. The only reason it hasn't started already is because right when I was getting ready to rebrand, Impact rebranded. And then they scheduled their rebrand for next year. So I will Mike Rouse, thank you so much. Mike Rouse with the heads up. Crown Jewel is tomorrow from 12 to 3. Boom. Good call, bruh. Right on. Maybe I will get into it after Crown Jewel or before. We'll get into it. But good looking out. Good looking out. So tomorrow, before or after Crown Jewel, stay connected to me on Twitter, and I will let you guys know what the deal will be with Turning Point, man. Shout out to Mike with the heads up. Appreciate that. I would have waited till tomorrow to remember. No, Crown Jewel. Ah, man. What a night, man. What a night. Love to be here. Love to do it. Let's get into it. But first, before we do, let's go through the super chats. Yeah? Let's go through the super chats. If you'd like to get your questions in, your super chats in, please do so. They are conveniently open for you to take advantage of. First up, out of the gate, guardian of all chaos, with the 1999 super chat, says, haven't forgotten about you, bro. Love your work. I'll be back soon, pending on this damn Thursday into Friday schedule, man. I'm old. I get up early. LMFAO. Keep grinding, Jesse. Best of luck, my friend. Guardian, one of my day one supporters, man. I appreciate you so much, bro. And I saw your other message in the text, man. I've seen some of your videos in post. I don't know if you do them live or not, but I have not seen any live. But I'll try to catch a live one, man. I'll set my notifications just for you, bruh. Wild Stallions, welcome to the Taco Crew. Wild Stallions is a new Taco Crew member, man. You know what that means. New Taco Crew members. Brand new, fresh Taco Crew members get to sit right up front. Susan! We got one up front. Susan, please. Need you over here. We need Wild Stallions in front. Yeah, get them in front. Just make a new seat. I don't get just get a new seat. Put it up front. Thank you so much. Appreciate your Stallion. Scripts with the 4-month super chat says, hey, Jesse, great to be back with the Taco Crew again. 4 months and counting. Much appreciated, Scripts, man. Good to have you guys here. By the way, Wild Stallions, new Taco Crew member, Wild Stallions, you're in front and you're going to be in front, man. No one's going to kick you out of that front row seat. No one. It's there just for you. You have my word. Tony Brown. Tony Brown with the 4-month super. Oh, no. It's not a super chat. No, 4-month subscription. Tony Brown says, I totally missed the whole show, including all booty meat, Jesse, but I did DVR. It's good, Tony Brown, because Danny Luna was on the show tonight. And Danny Luna, I think, may interest you, Tony Brown. Along with Naomi. Not Naomi. Who is Naomi? Who the hell is Naomi? Who's Naomi? There is no Naomi. But on a totally unrelated note, Trinity was also in the ring tonight. So I think you will be very, very pleased with your personal booty meat selections. I appreciate you. Jason Barker. Jason Barker with 2 months in this Taco Crew. Says 2 months in the Taco Crew. Just saw my first full episode of Impact Wrestling in 2 years. Great stuff, and it looks like the women are properly booked. Thank you so much, Jason Barker. I'll tell you what, though, if this was the first show you watched in 2 years and you liked it, good, because this was not a good show. It was literally just a house show. So when they get back to the regular storylines and things like that, then I'm quite sure you will be much happier with what you're going to get. So awesome. Tony Brown back again with the $4.99 super chat says, I enjoyed you and JD last night. Nothing but truth said. That's how we try to do it, man. That's how we try to do it. This show, some people don't believe it. But that show that we do, it's totally unscripted, man. It's totally unscripted. We don't go over anything. I mean, very rarely we'll have like a quick 15-second powwow about it, but outside of that, it's literally off the script. Glad you enjoy. MGM. Bowling with the 10-month super chat, bruh. That's what's up. Says my dog. Right back at you, bruh. Right back at you. Much appreciated. Matthew Banu 167. I hope I got that right. Welcome to the Taco Crew. A new Taco Crew member. Matthew, we have a seat right up front for you, man. Exclusively for you. Right up front, right over here with Wild Stallions. Get in the fucking back. Get in the back. Susan, get him in the back. Wild Stallions move. Old news, man. Back of the venue. Back. Matthew is now sitting in that spot. We love Matthew. Sorry, Wild Stallions. It was good while it lasted, bruh. It was good while it lasted. Matthew, MVP of the crew, bruh. Right here up front. And Matthew, I'll tell you right now, bro, I guarantee you, I promise you, that is your spot. No one is taking your spot, bro. All right. Jason Barker with the $5 super chat says, we're getting it done here tonight, bro. That is what we're going to do, man. That is the goal. And that's how it's going to go down. Susan, stay on top of these damn chairs, man. Let's go. Let's go. I'm glad you guys are all here. We're going to get into the show. JP Giles, I got you. We're going to pick up with you on the next round of super chats and memberships, man. But I want to get the show rolling for those who are here to hear the news, to hear the rumors, and to hear the previews and predictions. Let's go. Scott D'Amore addresses CM Punk possibly joining Impact Wrestling. Here we go again. So the ironic part is, a few weeks ago, I did a thumbnail with Punk on the cover. It was legit just done just to see if it affected the view count or anything like that. I mentioned him once and that was about it. But tonight I actually have news that involves Punk, and I didn't put him in the thumbnail because I don't like clickbaiting. Man. It's not cool. It's not cool. I was just wondering if it was really worth it. To be honest, the views were a little bit higher, but it was nothing drastic. Definitely not worth clickbaiting your loyal audience on just to draw them in for a CM Punk click. So I didn't put him in the thumbnail. If he shows up, I'll put him in the fucking thumbnail again. How about that? Scott D'Amore addresses CM Punk possibly joining Impact Wrestling. TNA Impact Wrestling president Scott D'Amore recently joined PWMania.com for an exclusive in-depth interview. During the discussion, Scott D'Amore opened up about the possibility of CM Punk returning to TNA Wrestling, Will Ospreay's future, and the six-sided ring. Let's see. CM Punk, possible TNA Impact return. Scott D'Amore says it's not a secret that CM Punk was backstage the day after Bound for Glory. That's nothing new. He was backstage earlier this year when he was under contract with AEW, and they were just getting ready for the debut of Collision. So we had a pretty open policy, he says. If you want to come by and visit, as long as you're respectful to our crew, you will be respected. He was a pleasure to have when he came around. So is there a possibility in it? So there is a possibility in the future. You never know. Is there going to be a place for veteran talent and senior talent in TNA wrestling? Of course. You know, the value can't be understated of a good senior veteran talent right now with name recognition and drawability as well. The door is open. So Scott D'Amore is in a position where getting a name like CM Punk just rumored to be associated with your promotion, he's going to benefit. Just the pure fact that they're even discussing CM Punk coming to TNA or Impact is a positive thing for a company like Impact. And I like how he strategically put in his quote that as long as he is respectful to our crew. That's telling to me. That tells me that yes, he understands that he would definitely need that star power, but he's also aware of the fallout that could come with signing one Phil Brooks. He understands. I don't think Scott D'Amore is a stupid man at all. I think he understands that bringing Punk in would be great for the company, but I think he also understands that at that very same time, it could become a locker room problem. But right now, the company is at a place and at a state where they need to take a risk like that. They need to. AEW was in a place where they needed to take a risk like that. And they did. And it just did not work out to their favor. WWE, I think that's a different story. WWE does not need to take a risk on CM Punk. They really don't. Whether or not they do it, I don't know. There is so many moving parts. I don't think anyone knows. I don't think anyone knows with any kind of certainty what's going to happen right there in regards to Punk joining WWE. I mean, everyone knows the pros and cons. Everyone knows. So there's no point in getting into it. It could happen. It might not. We'll find out together, guys. We'll find out together. Also, Scott D'Amore had things to say about Will Ospreay's Impact future. He says, and I quote, Will Ospreay just came in and did 3 events for us. He was a pleasure to have around, And I mean, I think it's great for Will to let his feelings be known about how much TNA wrestling meant to him. He said he's a TNA kid. He was inspired to be a wrestler watching AJ Styles on TNA Wrestling. And to me, that's one of the cool things that we are a part of, inspiring a guy whose contract is up in February 2024. Where is he going? Who knows? For him to sit there and say, no matter what happens in February of next year, I'm always going to be supportive of what's going on in TNA. What's going on TNA was so special to me. That's cool to come out of the mouth of arguably, in my opinion, the greatest wrestler in the world right now. So, the door's wide open. I think we're going to go out there and take some great moves and make some great moves in 2023 and keep pushing forward. We're going to grow, and I think we're really going to make some waves. Goes without saying, Will Ospreay is a generational talent. I think he was slept on for the better part of his career. In his better years, he spent those years putting his body through pure hell, but he's not done. He's not done. He's ready to reap the benefits of his hard work over all these years on the indie scene, and I think he's going to be paid handsomely. Where he goes, again, I don't know. If I had to guess at it, I would say that I think Will Ospreay goes to AEW just for the simple fact of flexibility. I think Will Ospreay wants to continue to wrestle where he wants, when it's possible, and working in WWE. You are a product of WWE, and you don't get to go out and do indie shows. You don't get to do a TNA show, Bound for Glory. You don't get to go do the G1. You're in WWE. Tony Khan has working relationships with all these promotions, and Will Ospreay going to AEW benefits him in that regard. So that's my call. I think he ends up in AEW. Also, Scott D'Amore was asked if the six-sided ring will return. I think we all heard about this one. He says, frankly, no. It's the first question that comes up and the first thing I tried to address in our press pass recently. I know that people love the six-sided ring. I was in the room when we made the decision to go six-sided, and I mean, it's got a little place in my heart because it was one of the things that set us apart. But at the end of the day, just about every single talent that's ever wrestled in it says that it was much harder to wrestle in. It was more dangerous, not just injury, but even worse so, just daily wear and tear. He goes on to say, it was harder on the bodies, so I will not apologize for putting talent's health and safety first. You know, I think TNA has had great matches in four-sided rings and six-sided rings. So with all things considered, if the talent is safer and more comfortable in a four-sided ring, then that's an easy decision to make. So here's my take on the six-sided ring. I think it's so unnecessary. I mean, the fact that the talent is getting hurt working it is pretty much just icing on the cake for the decision of to not have it. But for me, I was thinking about it this way. Because I know wrestlers are very self-conscious and very self-aware about how they are presented on TV. You got to protect their gimmick, man. I mean, that's their bread and butter. That's how they make their money. And they also have like an open door policy for talent that wants to come in and work and things like that. So how awkward and hard would it be for someone who's worked their whole career in a normal four-sided ring to then have to go to Impact and on the fly learn how to work a six-sided ring? You know, they're going to go out there and look ridiculous. They don't want to go out there and look ridiculous. They want to go out there and look like that they're professionals and they're like they know what they're doing. And they can't do it if they're out there in an environment they're nowhere near comfortable or familiar with. So yeah, sure, you'll get your homegrown guys who will know how to work a six-sided ring, but bringing in people for a one-off and things like that can leave them looking like they don't know what the hell they're doing out there in that kind of environment. So I would think that was never going to be a possibility for it to return. So I'm actually glad that it's not. All right. What else do we got here for you guys? We have Booker T. Fucking Booker T, man. Booker T comments on CM Punk potentially joining Impact TNA Wrestling. My God. I swear, I feel like I feel like when CM Punk takes a shit, I feel like if CM Punk took a shit and then posted it on Instagram, it would be the front page news for every media outlet in the IWC. True story. It might sound like that I'm being sarcastic, but think about it. I'm dead serious. If CM Punk took a picture of his fucking toilet bowl and said, I just took a shit, posted it on fucking Instagram, I truly and wholeheartedly believe that most of the IWC would have Punk in the damn headlines for taking a shit and posting a picture of it. It's serious. CM Punk is a free agent, and there's been a ton of online speculation on what his next move in pro wrestling might be. Ace Steel is reportedly working backstage for Impact. And Punk was said to be backstage at Bound for Glory. Nothing is confirmed, but many on social media are speculating that Punk could be part of the company when they rebrand back to TNA in January. On the Hall of Fame podcast, WWE Hall of Famer Booker T gave his thoughts on if CM Punk going to TNA would work. Booker T says, and I quote, I look at it like this. If CM Punk was to go to Impact Wrestling and be part of that crew down there, I think it's definitely something that could work. I really do. I think it's a lot of young guys, just like in AEW, that could learn and maybe look towards CM Punk for some guidance or whatever. Booker T continued, I don't know how well that's going to work out for anything like that, but that's the way I see it. But the one thing I also think about with CM Punk going to Impact Wrestling, unlike AEW, WWE, his wrestling is going to be more spotlighted because it's a smaller crowd. Everything is going to be seen. You're not going to be able to hide anything in an arena like that. One thing about getting older, you're going to lose a step. That's just the way it is, and I just think it will be so much more noticeable. You think looking at CM Punk's work so much, you think you would be looking at CM Punk's work so much more than anything else outside of anything that he would be doing in TNA. I'm talking about promos. I'm talking about angles. You're going to be looking at his work more than anything. I would think, and I think that's a position I would want to put myself in. Strong words from Booker T. Strong words from Booker T. I got to tell you, man, Booker T, at least to me, has come off as very much a corporate WWE shill. So you can look at these comments and think of it in a couple of different ways. Is he genuinely, honestly thinking like that in regards to Punk? Or is Booker T a part of the narrative of let's throw off the wrestling community, throw him off the scent of Punk joining WWE? I don't know. I don't think it's that deep. I think CM Punk was in the headlines. And on a podcast, you talk about the things in wrestling that are in the headlines. And I think Booker T just shot from the hip real quick about what he thought about Punk going to Impact Wrestling. Funny thing, though, when Scott D'Amore talked about Will Ospreay joining Impact, possibly, he didn't have the same line of Will Ospreay has to respect the crew in the back. Seems that was not a concern for him to join Impact Wrestling. I just thought that was interesting. Jeff Jarrett told Anthem officials several years ago that the Impact Wrestling brand was dead and they should have brought back TNA. Like I said, man, Jeff Jarrett on TV wrestling on a weekly basis, just not something I'm interested in. But the guy does have wrestling knowledge. He does bring a lot to the table, and he has a lot of experience under his belt. So he may know what he's talking about here. On the latest My World podcast, WWE Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett discusses the politics backstage at TNA when he was there and his professional relationship and dealings with Dixie Carter. Jarrett also talked about the announcement made this weekend that Impact Wrestling would be reverting back to TNA name by this January. Jeff Jarrett was asked if he's surprised Impact Wrestling changed their name back to TNA. And Jarrett said, quote, I mean, on this topic alone, I could go down so many rabbit holes and so many avenues. I had heard rumblings, and boy, do you really want to open this? Do you really want to open this can of worms? Yes, I'm surprised in a few different ways in that the conversations that I had with Anthem. I'll just leave it at that. All the way at the highest levels, and all those is that I was pretty clear with them that, guys, I'm just reading what Jarrett said word for word. I don't know what the hell this guy's talking about. He's from the South, man. You got to give this guy a little bit of room here. I'll just leave it at that. All the way at the highest levels, and all those is that I was pretty clear with them that, hey guys, in my opinion, Impact Wrestling naming that the company was almost dead on arrival in 2011 and 2012, the tagline "Wrestling Matters" and all that kind of stuff. But I said, I just think Impact Wrestling is dead. The television show, and so not to, go on and on about it. But I had those conversations in depth and gave them the history, but they are all aware of it. But they bought the show Impact from day one. Anthem did. They knew that it was TNA Wrestling Presents Impact. Oh boy, Jesus Christ, dude! This is what Jarrett said, guys. This is what Jarrett. I don't know. When you speak, I'm sure this made sense when you're talking, but when you speak and then someone puts it to text, sometimes reading it is not as easy as it is listening to it. So basically, Jeff Jarrett is saying that he told them a long time ago they should go back to the TNA name and everything else. But the thing about Impact and with Scott D'Amore, his whole ideal was that he was waiting for that negative stigma to fall off the TNA name. And that, along with the fact that apparently there are a lot of people who were so invested in the TNA name and so upset when the name changed that they stopped following the product. I don't understand that. I'm not going to lie. I do not understand that. If you enjoy the product, you enjoy the product. Why would you stop watching just because the name changed? I don't get that at all. But again, if you're new here, again, I'm a newer Impact fan. I am learning a lot of the things that you guys already know, so bear with me. But yeah, I don't know. The name change does not seem like a big deal to me. But to those who are extremely enamored with it, I'm happy for you, man. I am happy for you. So, guys, that is the news that I have for Impact. All right. And also, we're going to go with some previews and predictions, man. Before we do that, let's catch up on those super chats. Why don't we? We left off with JP Giles with his 3-month Taco Crew membership. He says, I appreciate you taking the time on JD's channel to try to stop the Impact hate. Most of these people don't know or won't give it a chance, in my opinion. I agree, man. I agree. I posted something on Twitter. I think a couple of days ago, I'm not sure. But I just, and this is universal. It goes for so many different things. If you don't like something, it's understandable. I don't like a lot of different things. I mean, so I don't spend my time going out of my way to make sure I tell as many people that hear it that I don't like it and how bad it is. Like, what is the point? What is the point? Impact Wrestling, do you like it? Nah, it's not for me, man. You know, I'm more entertained with places with bigger venues or things like that. I hear the product is good, but it's just not for me. You know, that makes sense, you know, as opposed to like everything that people love adding into that conversation when you mention Impact. Like what's the point of it? Does it make you feel better if another wrestling show falls? You know, I use that same concept with WWE and AEW. I don't understand why the super fans want one or the other to fail. Like, what's the point? If you don't like it, you don't watch it. I'm not saying you have to watch Impact because it's great. You have to watch it. Don't watch it. But I don't see a reason for you to have to bury it, shit on it, kill it. It's a pro wrestling show, and it's not as big as WWE and AEW. It happens. You know? It happens. Sometimes there will be smaller venue. There's role players in every sport. Everyone can't be the megastar. It doesn't mean if you're not the megastar, you're worthless. Without the role players, the top guys can't succeed. They can't do it by themselves. You know, as far as how this translates to wrestling, sure, if all other wrestling promotions disappeared, like say AEW disappeared, Impact disappeared, everything else disappeared but WWE, it goes back to the way it was years ago, the fans lose. The fans lose. WWE wins, but the fans lose. The wrestlers lose. They lose leverage in contract negotiations. They lose all kinds of leverage. But when AEW surfaced, all of these WWE stans who hate them and want them to die, their favorite wrestlers made more money. Their favorite wrestlers who were loyal and stayed and got new contracts, they all made more money. Everyone wins. So I don't see the point, man. I don't see the point. Susan D, head of talent relations, with the $2 super chat says, keep up the good work, Jesse. Susan, I will definitely try my best, but I can't do it without you, Susan. I need my head of talent relations here, relating to the talent. You guys are the talent. Taco Crew is the talent. Susan is the head of talent relations. Thank you so much, Susan. We have Steven Casson with the $9.99 super chat says, people shit on Impact like they shit on soccer. I'm a massive soccer fan, and most people just shit on it without watching a single game because they don't want to see it succeed and don't understand. Thank you so much, Steven. And you're probably 100% right, man. You're probably 100% right. You know, going to London, you know, for All In, I already knew soccer was a big deal. Oh, I just skipped over Tony Brown. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me go back. Tony Brown with the $1.99 super chat. Tony Brown says, Jesse, give Susan a raise. She's awesome. Yeah, Susan is awesome, man. But we pay top dollar here. Top dollar. Susan is the highest paid mod on YouTube, bar none. Thank you so much, Tony Brown, one of the OGs of the channel. Steven, yeah, so going to London, you know, I already knew soccer was a big deal. And going to London, I mean, just kind of reiterated it for me. They love their football more than we love our football, baseball, and basketball combined. Boy, you think I'm joking, man. Anyone from there or anyone who has been there, they know messing around with European football is not a joke. It is not a joke. People have been beaten up and stabbed over soccer games, bruh. It is real. Do not play. They get serious and they mean it, man. They are passionate. I love passion like that. I do for anything. I do, man. It is a beautiful thing. They just, dude, so around here, I'm a Vikings fan, right? So I live in Chicago. If I go to Soldier Field for a Bears Vikings game, I can put on my Vikings jersey. I go down to Soldier Field. I get out there. I walk around wherever I want, do what I want, go to whatever side of the building I want to go to, whatever concession stand I want to go to. And then I go to the seat that I have and I go and enjoy the game. Bruh, that is not how you do. Let me tell you something. Go to Poland versus Mexico. Go to Poland versus Mexico and go sit on the wrong side of the stadium. Find out what happens to your ass. Find out what happens to you if you wear a Poland jersey and then go sit with the Mexico fans. You ain't going home that night, bruh. Shit is real. This shit is real. I can go into any football stadium around the world. I can go to Lambeau in my Vikings jersey and smile and cheer and have a beer or two with Packer fans and go home. That is not how it works, man. Go to Arsenal and West Ham. Yeah, bro, Robert Logan ain't wrong. You don't do that shit, dude. It is not fun and games. That is not how it operates, bro. You go and you sit where you're supposed to sit on the side that you cheer for, and they separate them mofos like Bloods and Crips, man. Aryan Brotherhood, Black Guerrilla Family. Poland, Mexico, Arsenal, West Ham. There's no integration, bruh. It ain't happening. Martin Luther King couldn't bring these motherfuckers together. It just don't happen. Nope. Martin Luther King going in and said, I had a dream that I'm getting my ass out of here before I get stabbed. Just saying. Thank you guys so much. You guys are fantastic, man. We're going to get into a quick previews and predictions for Turning Point. And then we're going to get out of here. So if you have a super chat to get in, you got a comment to make, get it in. And we'll get the last couple that we get to after the show. All right, we have the tag team match between Eric Young and Josh Alexander versus Subculture, Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews. If you watch tonight's show, you pretty much got this match tonight. Except the addition of Danny Luna to Subculture. Shout out to Tony Brown. And to Deonna Purrazzo. I'm sorry. Deonna Purrazzo was out there. I'm sorry, but she was not with Young and Alexander. She was out there with Moose and Myers. She was out there with Moose and Myers. I just thought about that. I don't know why I thought it was the same match. And Subculture took the L on that one. So I feel pretty confident in saying that Subculture will get the win against Young and Alexander. And that's a pretty strong prediction, man, because, I know Josh is their guy. I know Josh and EY is their guy. So I'm still going to go Subculture on that one, though. We have Alex Windsor versus Giselle Shaw. I think this one is an easy one for me, man. I'm going to go with Giselle Shaw for two reasons. One, I think the quintessential diva is one of Scott's favorites. I think she's pretty protected and treated well. And reason number two is I have no idea who Alex Windsor is. I have no idea who Alex Windsor is. Literally never heard of the name. So if anyone in the chat knows, put it in there and I'll add it to what I had to think about it. But I've never heard of Alex Windsor before. We have Rich Swann versus Trey McGill. I think this match has the potential to steal the show. I think this match is a low-key potential show stealer. We know Rich Swann is great. We know Trey McGill is great. They've both been on this tag team kick for a little bit lately. I think getting them in a singles match and getting them to spread out a little bit and get them moving in a singles match again, I think they can tear it down, man. These guys are really good. Since I've started watching Impact, Trey McGill has been on my radar. That guy's a special fucking talent, man. Special talent. Love him. I'm going to go with Trey McGill on this one. I think he has a direction in the company right now. I think he has something going for him. I think the departure of Sami Callihan may have left Rich Swann in a little bit of a limbo area until they get him restructured. So until that happens, I'm going to go with Trey McGill on that one. Jordynne Grace versus Dani Luna. Should be a decent match. I don't know if the chemistry in there will work with that one. I'm here for it. Can't wait to see it. I don't expect it to be a bad match. I do expect Jordynne Grace to come out with the W on this one. She is slated to get a title shot against Trinity. So it would have seemed to me that she is one to keep strong at all times until that happens. So gonna go with the juggernaut Jordynne Grace. Singles match, we have
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry versus Simon Miller. Gets an up. Simon Miller versus Joe Hendry. Bruh, how can you not be excited for that? I think everyone sitting in this chat knows who Simon Miller is, where he comes from, what culture. Simon's a great fucking guy, man. Met him twice. Great guy. And I'm so happy he got this opportunity. Should be a great match. Joe Hendry kills Simon Miller. Tag team match. We have Chris Sabin and Frankie Kazarian. Gotta love Frankie, man. Versus the most professional wrestling gods, Brian Myers and Moose. So, this is an interesting match, actually. This is an interesting match. Chris Sabin is the X Division champion. Frankie is always Frankie. Frankie is always the shit, man. Love Frankie. Brian Myers, even over here, it looks like he can be like the quintessential jobber at times. But he does play an important role over here at least. Moose, on the other hand, Moose is a killer. Moose is my guy. Moose has the best spear in the industry right now, in my opinion. I just like the way he executes his spear. For some reason, the spear has become just this finishing move of the guy. I mean, I don't get it. Everyone all of a sudden wants to do the spear. I don't get it. But nonetheless, I love Moose's spear. For that alone, I'm gonna go with Myers and Moose. I would love to see Moose back on top as champion. I think Moose is killing the game right now, man. We have Impact Knockouts World Title Match. We have, well, I'm going to come back to that one because next we have singles match. Eddie Edwards versus Will Ospreay. This should be a banger of a match. If you don't know who's going to win this one, I don't think you watch pro wrestling, bruh. Will Ospreay wins that one easily. Impact Knockouts World Title match. I believe, I mean, I don't know, but I believe this will be the main event. But I could be wrong. Trinity versus Deonna Purrazzo with special guest referee Gail Kim. This is Deonna Purrazzo's third and final title match with Trinity. So apparently, according to Trinity's promo tonight, this is pretty much it. So what happens? I don't know. I do know. Trinity is not losing that title right now. Deonna Purrazzo, I'm not sure what her direction is going to be going forward from this. It kind of doesn't matter. Deonna can be slotted anywhere on the card and be, and be helpful, be a threat. Deonna Purrazzo is so protected and so over in Impact. It doesn't really matter what she does. She'll be fine. I think the objective right now is to keep Trinity strong going forward. And I think that's what Scott D'Amore is going to do. So, guys, that is it for today's show. I wanted to keep it sweet, simple. Like I said, the show tonight on the air was like a house show. There's nothing to write home about. It's good wrestling, but there was no continuing storylines. All right, so we have Turning Point tomorrow night. Make sure you tune in to that. Stay posted on my Twitter account at Chi-Town Smart, Twitter X, or whatever the hell it's called nowadays. And I'll keep you guys posted on when that review will come. We'll make sure we dance around Crown Jewel. Maybe before or after. I'll let you guys know. Guys, that is tonight's show. My name is Jesse, a.k.a. your very own one and only Chi-Town Smart. I will see you guys on Saturday afternoon or morning. Peace.
That might get that bitch contusions. It's two of Chicago's fucking gruesome. Introducing you to Flux. Big dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? All over the world, it's the same old thing. Psychodrama, fluctuating.
My continuous output, my flow of ideas for years been thrilling in me. Please don't stop this feeling in me before the feeling get to killing in me. See, I'm into mayhem. When the play hit the streets of happen, and then I'm ready to your grave man. Lucifer got nothing to do with this shit. To the days of dirt, getting fucked up within. And I put that on the house, bitch. To the days of the dirt, you gon' cancel that down shit.
And you can inhale the danger. Consider this us spilling out pails of anger. Fuck around, swell a vein up and make you rebel on a stranger. Get contained up, things I'm thinking. Sometimes I be feel like I'm sinking in the motherfucking words of the rap. Floating in the ink pen, breathing and blinking as I lead you to the brink and push you off in the deep end of the issue. Out of the realm of reaching, you ain't gonna know what the fuck hit you cause you sleeping. Chicago will be your motherfucking shit. Here to show you how worse of it fucking get. Don't play by books. I'm really up in it, burning the rules. Fuck that instruction shit.